everybody. So today we're going to work on a keychain. I've got some new keychain molds, and these came in a 4-pack, but they're little nurse or doctor shirts. It's got the stethoscope there and a little heart down here in the corner. So I thought they would be cute. I'm going to do 2 of them today. And this set came with these little keychains, and it came with some jump rings. Kind of disappointed it didn't come with any of the eye screws, but I had some of those, so that's all good. We'll be able to use the ones I have. So everything I've got my 2 molds, I've got my hand drill, and I bought some new markers, guys. These are acrylic paint markers, and this is the set I bought. It was $24, and they were on sale for, I think, $11.99 when I bought them. And let me read you the colors real quick, because there's a lot of colors in here. Matter of fact, I'll put it over here so you can see it. And then if you want to read it, you can go ahead and pause it. Now these are water-based, non-toxic. They're supposed to be sunlight resistant, which means they shouldn't fade over time. So hopefully they'll hold up really well. And I'm going to actually use the red out of there. I'm going to use this darker purple. I've got black. I've got like a darker silver and a lighter silver. And we're going to use the UV resin. And I've got my glasses out so I can see what I'm doing, so let's get started. Now I want to do the stethoscope. I want to do the end parts in the darker, and have the right nib. Oh, well, let's use this nib with this. It's got 2 sides to it. It's got a wider nib, as you can see, and a smaller nib. So I'm going to use the small nib here because I can't quite get in that corner there. You just have to push down on this just a little bit. I didn't shake it or anything. Didn't say to. And it says you can use these like a watercolor. Just mix it with a little bit of water. I guess dip it in the water. I haven't tried it. Dip it in the water a little bit. I'm just using this to clean up any areas. Dip it in some water and make watercolors out of it. Which I guess if you want watercolors that would work, but that's not quite the look I'm going for. Okay, so I'm going to do both of these with this lighter silver. And I'm actually going to do the part, I don't know what the name of it is, I don't know what the part is. So if you're a nurse or a doctor, you're probably going to shoot me here, but the part that they put in their ears. And the stethoscope part, I'm going to do those in the darker color, the darker gray. These are really nice looking, and it's just going on there so nicely. It's so much easier for this fine detail of trying to do it paint on mica powders. So hopefully these will come out the way I want. And these would be great for like if you're doing jewelry and you want to edge it, or just doing dots and drawing different designs on your molds. Now I'm going to use a wider end on this, I think. I'm going to do 1 heart in this red. This kind of looks a little orangey to me, but we're going to use this red here. Yeah, it's a little orangey, but it'll be alright. As I'm going to pick it up so I can get a little closer to me so I can see the edge of it a little better. So I can get the actual shape of it. I'm actually going to switch to the other side. shape right. I think that's going to work a little better. Around the edge of it. And then just color it in. And take this and just kind of define the top part of that heart a little bit. Make sure it gets the actual heart shape to it. Okay. Hopefully that'll work. It's my very first time using these, guys, so I'm going to see the same thing you see. Any mess ups I have, you're going to see them. I like sharing first time using things with y'all. Yeah, the narrow edge actually works a little bit better for getting that heart shape. Give that a little bit more definition right there. Make sure I didn't go over that and cause it to not have the heart shape. And you know what, guys? We're going to play with putting patterns in these. Let me grab another color here. Let me see. Let's do some blue polka dots. And we're going to we'll use the wide end for this. And I'm just going to do it on one just to see. It doesn't look like it's really staying on there too well. Oh, it's just drying right up there. Alright, maybe not right on the mold for that. Might have to put a thin layer and then do it. So, let me get something out to wipe that off with. See if I can do it with this. I'll get a little bit of alcohol in there. Well, that gave it a cool effect. Well, guys, that spread it like that. I don't know if you can see that. But I almost like that effect. So, you know what? I'm going to do that in a few places. Kind of gave it that ability to streak a little bit. I think I'm going to put a little bit more of that on there. If I didn't throw it back in the box. There it is. Yeah, put a little bit more on there and try and get that some more streaks like that. I'm just playing around, guys. I'm just seeing what happens with these. Do one more. Do one more in the other sleeve. Just a small one. See, now I can draw it on there that way. Alright. So now we're going to get our UV resin. And we're just going to squeeze a little resin in here. Now, I'm doing this clear because I want to try something with these, with the black one, with the black marker. want to see if I can use it for backing on one of these, just to see how it comes out. I don't like doing that with the permanent markers, because I just don't like the look of it. I don't think it looks professional, as professional as the UV resin would look. So I don't do that. I have shown it, but I don't recommend it myself. But this being an acrylic marker, I just want to see what the difference is. And I may still not like it. I may have to just put a backing on it afterwards and clean that nib off a little bit. Close that so I don't knock it over. Alright, and I did not plug this in. So let me plug this in, guys. Plug in my light. And I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to go ahead and cure these for, this isn't a see-through mold, so I'm going to cure it for about 3 minutes. And I'll be back. So we are done curing that. And I'm just going to pop these out real quick. Well, they demold really easy, but they're still a little tacky on the other side. So I'm going to have to go ahead and cure this side for about a minute, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. And I can already see it didn't pick up all the color like I would want it to. But that's something we can figure out. And we can always go over it with the markers and give it a little more color. I might have wanted to let that dry a little bit longer on the mold before putting in the UV resin, which I probably should have let it dry first, but you live and learn. Alright, so we are almost done curing this. I just don't want it tacky or sticky. I want to make sure these are cured all the way. And normally I would just flip my molds over, but since those weren't see-through or translucent, I couldn't do that. Just about there. Alright, so that is cured. And can show you how these came out. Now, I can see that the blue didn't pick up on this one, and I did not let that cure at all, the blue color, so it didn't get the blue streaks. They are on my mold still, but they're not on here. And you can see the purple heart. And then this is the one I did the red. It didn't pick it up real well, so we are going to have to go over it with the marker. And these definitely do work better if you shake them. I was shaking them. I didn't shake them, and I don't know why I was thinking you wouldn't have to, but I always do with my other acrylic markers, so I should have known with this one. So let's just go ahead and get those markers out and go over this a little bit more. Okay, so you can definitely see it looks a little bit better after going over these a little bit more. So that's one problem fixed. And we're going to get the black one out, and I'm just going to go over the back of one of these. I'm shaking it up a little bit. I did realize that that helps. I think that may have been some of the problem of it not sticking to the mold or not coming out the way I wanted it to. We're just going to go ahead and color that in and see how it looks. Okay, so I've got that colored in, and So far, I'm not thinking it's going to be much better than the permanent markers, the Sharpies. Kind of the same problem. It kind of pulls away from the resin, and I've had to go over it a couple of times, and I'm still seeing little holes in it. Now, this one, I decided I'm just going to outline it, like go along the outside of it, like if you wanted to give it a little color, like if you were doing a coaster and want to go along the edge of the coaster, just to see how they do. And just going to shake it up a little bit. I'm just going to do some edging here. That was the word I was looking for. Want to do some edging. I do like these colors. I do like this is a green, and it's really pretty. And it seems to be taken along the edge really well. So I'm just going to go around, all the way around this and get it edged. And then show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got it all edged now. And you can see that color. And you can see everything shows up a little bit better now that I went over with it after demolding it. Now this is the black backing. Now it's on there. As you can see, there's a few holes in it. I just don't like the way it applies to it as a backing. I think I'm just going to stick with colored resin for that. To me, it just looks the most professional. And I want to sell good quality things and make good quality things for my friends. I don't want to, even if it might save me a few bucks, I don't want to make something that doesn't look really professional. So I was going to color this in with the green, and I just changed my mind because I think it's going to do the same thing as the other one with the black. I think it's going to have the holes in it, and I just don't want to take that chance. So you can say I'm thinking about it, and nope, just not going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and just put the keychain on it. I'm going to drill the hole, kind of put it through the sleeve. Now, I didn't fill these all the way up with UV because it would have taken a little more than I wanted to use just for an experiment. And you just want to apply gentle pressure and drill your hole. Now, once you've got a good start on your hole, you don't have to drill it all the way through. You can take your eye pin, or your eye screw rather, and just screw it in there. Or you can do this by hand, or you can grab it with your pliers. It's easier for me to grab it with my pliers. So I just grab a hold of that and kind of screw the keychain onto the screw more or less. Once you've got it screwed all the way in there, just make sure it's straight. I bent my eye part a little bit. Can't talk, guys. That's nothing new now, is it? Okay, so now I'm going to take the jump ring and put it on there. And I'm going to grab a hold of it with my bent nose pliers. And I'm going to put the keychain on. And then we're just going to get this closed up nice and tight. You want to make sure it's completely closed. No openings. If you can feel it rubbing against, the two ends rubbing against each other, you know it's closed all the way. You don't want it falling out of the opening and somebody losing their keychain. Now it's still a little bit open. Just want to get it pushed together a little bit better. Just make sure it's good and secure. And there you have a keychain. Now, I'll grab something to put it up against because it's clear, so it's a little harder for you to see it. So I'm just going to put it on a white background so you can see it just a little bit better. Now, I think these would look really good with some colored UV resin. Maybe not black, just depends, I guess, on what colors you're using to color them in. I really do like these markers, guys. The failures on it were my fault. I should have shook them and pressed the nib onto a piece of paper towel to get them started, like you do with any other acrylic marker or acrylic pen. I'm disappointed it didn't pick it up, the blue streaks up, but again, I should have let those dry first, and I didn't do that. So it's a trial and error, guys. I will work with these some more. Definitely won't be using these to do a backing on, but I think for just coloring in your molds or doing some highlights or some little designs, I think they're great. But that didn't come out horribly bad. Just not my favorite. The silver's showing up really good against it. I do like the silver against the black, so maybe I will do some black ones. But anyway, I mean, you could do designs, make them look like actual scrubs. That would be fun. So, guys, that's it. That's the review on these. I'm not paid to do this review. It was just something fun I wanted to do. I wanted to try out some new things, and I wanted y'all to see how they look. If you want to try any of the products, they'll be linked below. Just hit the tab where it says more, and everything I used will be linked down there for y'all to go take a look at. So, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, because I know I did. And I hope you learned a little something, both in the do and do nots. Always good. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Have a great day, night, whatever it is where you are. And I will see you on Tuesday. Take care.